We're not using this. This is terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was going to say I'm going to have to do a hell of a lot of editing on that.
Yeah, it's just gonna be chop, 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 chop.
Invoking the Muse.
Hey everybody, welcome to Invoking the Muse. Here's Owen, Vaughan, Littlejohns, and I'm Tommy. And yeah, this week we're gonna be chatting, like every week.
Wink, wink. Get off the phone.
I'm about to post something. I'm trying to hit that 5 o'clock. Whew, people on a Sunday. I just want to jump in on that Insta action.
Yeah, nice,
You know?
nice.
Are you using any auto post software?
No, I felt that was too disgenuine. No, I don't know. I haven't actually explored that. Is it any good? Like, is that the stuff that you dial up ahead of time and then it just goes?
Yeah, like you create your posts, you create your caption, and you do hashtags, and then you just click. I want to post this at 5, and you can schedule it for like all the days of the week.
Oh, so like
and then
Facebook had.
did they?
Well, you
Oh,
could
cool.
do that with posts. You could schedule posts. So I guess
Oh yeah,
same thing.
yeah. Well, same thing. It's just third-party apps doing it.
Did you get it yours to work?
Me?
Yeah, like you were testing it last week. Did you getting it working?
Yeah, I got it to work. It worked fine. It was just using the app called Later, and it doesn't auto post with a creator Instagram account, so which is a bit annoying. But it's just like 2 steps. So you put it into the app and you schedule it. So if I schedule something for Wednesday, and then it sends me a notification on Wednesday, and I just click yes, post, done.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can pre-plan what you want out. Make it a
Yeah,
bit
so
more
if you
efficient.
have like a full week of stuff instead of writing it and then posting it as you go.
Yeah, use your time a little bit more wisely.
Efficiently and less stress.
Yeah,
So,
100%. So I suppose how did you? Because you said last week you were going to post a couple of videos, a couple of posts in general. How did they go? Or how did you go with it?
well, I said once. Did one post, and it was fine. Actually, hit pretty well. Big hitter, I'd say, in the scheme of my hits.
Yeah.
No, it was a good one. There's a picture of me in the vineyard, bottle of wine that I drank, and I kind of gave a bit of a like
a loose
what
loose video there.
Yeah, so I just kind of, it's good because it's sort of what we sort of spoke about, just bringing back like how everything is, you got to connect it back to the wine and what people actually want to drink. So yeah, it was good. I just sort of reconnected why I like that wine, and then how like it's organic, it's biodynamic, so how that comes back to viticulture and how that's better. So
yeah, nice.
there's a bit of structure in that post, so I think it worked well. But there's also like a thin line between sounding like you're trying to sell that bottle of wine and sounding like you're trying to educate.
True.
So,
True. I suppose if you attached a link to, hey, go and check this wine, then you're clearly trying to sell it, but it's more just about educating this point.
Yeah, but what originally when I was drafting the post, I was like, have you tried this wine? If you haven't, it's really great. You know, they're organic, and it's like, it just sounds like I'm repping a rep for their brand.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I see that.
That's the line. That's the line.
Yeah. So the link between your work and the wine sort of managed to engage a few more people by the sounds of it.
Certainly got plenty of likes, so that's good. Couple comments, mostly from people I knew. So
Did you
not
ask
so much
did you ask a question in the post, or did you sort of just they just engaged with it?
let me refresh my memory. Yes, but it was a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
So I can read it out to the viewers today. Firstly, how good is Syrah? Rhetorical question. Second rhetorical question, do you know what's better than Syrah? And then organic Syrah, that's what's better.
Yeah, nice.
And then I just spoke about how supporting organic and biodynamic producers also supports our environment, because that's less pesticides, less insecticides, less bees getting killed, more beneficial insects, and how those type of producers use beneficials and everything they use them to sort of manage their own vineyard. So it's not you're not going out with products to do everything. You're sort of holistically managing
Yeah,
the land. So
sounds cool.
And then I just brought that into why I'm holding a bottle of wine. So this is the producer, and I really like this one. I used to work for them, and that's why it was good for me. And and then I just like the call to action at the bottom, which is kind of either a question or something. I just said double tap if you're an organic wine lover.
Yeah, nice. So
and obviously double tapping means like.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sounds like a solid post. You got your head on your shoulders in regards to like what your intention behind that one was, what it was for.
Exactly. So when I go and do posts from now on, I just got to keep that intention clear. So I'm not just putting out random stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sounds great. So I suppose did you, was that because you did more of your business planning during the week and it sort of clarified a few things for you?
It was more of a podcast that I listened to, talking a little bit about that, like how to caption your pictures, and then just chatting with other people about it. So yeah, a little bit of everything, I reckon. But one thing I did do though, I went into, and I became really, I think the word is disillusioned.
Yeah.
With Instagram this week.
How so?
And this is why. And I think we may have touched on this last week. So I thought, how am I going to find the customers that I want? Like, how are they going to find my page? Because they're not. So I was like, all right, so I'll go on to other people's pages and I'll find the people commenting on their stuff, and then I'll click their link and find out if they're my customer.
Yep.
And so I went on to some like wine influencers, and I looked at the top comments. There's like 16 comments, and every single person commenting was like, yeah, this is fantastic. Great stuff. Oh, I love that wine. Like all kind of nice, uplifting comments. But if you click on their page, they're doing the same thing. So it's like the wine influencer trying to boost themselves by showing off wine and doing whatever, as other influencers or wannabe influencers selling something also commenting on their comment. So it's just this like little bubble of everyone just like patting each other on the back,
trying to build an audience.
They're building engagement by just like doing this to each other.
Yeah.
So it seems so disingenuous. There was no.
When you break it down like that, because I mean I've researched on YouTube and there's plenty of proof there that there's tactics of exactly that. As like you go on there, I think we talked about it last week. You go on there and you message people who are doing kind of similar stuff, like you're saying, but still genuinely, in your perspective, commenting on it, something positive, like saying I've had this wine before. This is super tasty, good stuff or whatever. And then you'll get interaction with that, but you're still doing it just that they'll either do the same to you or follow you and
tit for tat, like So that kind of I was like, oh, this is draining. This is so fake. Can these people like? But then I did find one page and it was a bit bigger, because those were sort of smaller accounts, bigger page, and there was a lot of those still doing the same thing, but there's also like regular people.
So there's some more authentic sort of just genuine connection.
Genuine, like people with private accounts, or people who just post their social stuff, not people trying to sell. So what I did, I went and I liked their most recent photo.
Yep.
And because it was interesting as well.
Yeah.
Like just to see what they're interested in. A lot of wine, a lot of people posting bottles of wine and vineyards and friends and stuff. But that, like, I got a few followers from that.
Yeah.
Because that made them have a look at my page. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're going, who's checking me out, sort of thing.
As much as as much as you can kind of have a look at as that disingenuous kind of, I just want to, praise you, so you praise me kind of thing, compliment. If you think about it, I don't know, just because I love music, but if you think about it in that realm, like you go and see a band you really love, right? And usually, not always, but if they've put on another band that's kind of similar or good enough to kind of like get you G'd up, you go along wanting to see another band, but you discover this other band. It's like, you're still kind of, it's not really disingenuous in that way, because you're hoping that people who aren't trying to be influencers, who are literally going to these pages, well, your clients, I guess, who are literally going to these pages, and I suppose that's the game. They hope, like, they see your page and be like, "Oh, what's this guy doing?" And they go to you, and then suddenly you get a new follower, and they might be your, number one fan from that comment. So I suppose if you view it like that way, it might be easier to keep doing it.
Yeah, I
Not
think
so much getting an influencer to, praise you. It's more getting, for want of a better word, the plebs. No, just the average Joe who's actually into that stuff. They're just like, yeah, this is sick.
It really comes back down to your intention. Like why, like what you sort of said, you found some bigger ones, but you actually genuinely like their stuff. So then you engage with it. If you were literally going out there for like, which is like a really old school social marketing like tactic, then as you said, you're going to be drained. You're going to go, no, this is not me. Why am I doing this?
Yeah. It is. It does still feel a bit creeperish when they haven't posted since 2017 and you're liking their photo.
Well, yeah, true.
Or they've got two comments, one from their sister and one's from their brother, and you're like, sick one, bro.
Everyone starts somewhere. I still get likes from my family.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah. Well, mum and dad, number one podcast viewers this week.
100%.
Wouldn't be here without them. Shout out to mum and dad.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so I think that was interesting. Having the structure to the post was good, and it helped me keep on track with the reason I'm actually posting it.
Yeah.
And then doing that little bit of like before posting and after posting, looking at other people's accounts, trying to find where my clients are hanging out. That's interesting in itself, because got to make the bridge to get them to your account somehow.
Yeah, like what we discussed last week, it's you go to them, you don't expect them to come to you, sort of thing. Yeah. And it sounds like you did that to a degree, but you really found your sense of why, of what you're supposed to be doing or why you're doing it.
Yeah. The other thing is that posting that photo with the wine, I changed all of the hashtags, so I wasn't posting about viticulture or vines or anything. I just changed it all to fun, like wine-related hashtags, and got a much bigger
reach,
draw of people like coming through that. So
I
think it's probably good to mix it up.
Yeah, sure. 100%. Find different climates or different markets with however the actual algorithm works.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. So
exactly.
That was the photo kind of post. Now last week you sort of said, I wanted to get over that fear of filming yourself. How'd you go with that? Did you get any videos put together?
yeah, I did 2 stories. I don't know if you enjoyed them, but they were pretty great, if I say so. No, so the first,
Yeah, well, I didn't actually see them, unfortunately. So what was it? You'll have to describe it.
I can't even remember what the first one was about, but the second one was sort of just me talking to the camera and just being like, this is what we're doing today. Like, this is the activity. We've got a crew out to do that, and then I just shot to a pan of like the actual crew doing the work. So that was good. Like I said off, via message earlier, that I think the video I could have definitely done differently. I could have brought more energy. It also went for a long time, and I plan to like follow it with a video of what the actual activity was. Like, it was talking about shoot thinning. I didn't explain what that was, so I was planning to post another story to be like, and this is this and this. But then I thought I'll keep that footage to make a reel, because it's better content to last forever. But I didn't do that, so I haven't got to the point yet. So, but I think, yeah, so it was good, and I was pretty confident talking. And I found the best way to do it is just not to, like, I did the first story I did like 4 times before I was happy with it.
Yeah.
Just got to do it the first time and be like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. So
Like,
just one and done.
It comes out cleaner if you just, yeah.
And I suppose you
try
wouldn't feel like you're forcing it or being fake or all those kind of things.
Exactly.
So you'd feel better in actually putting it out there. But that sounds good. Like, it sounds like you've definitely found some good takeaways in there, of just like bringing some energy to it, and and then trying to keep the content for longer. If the way you want to structure, obviously you didn't get to that stage, but for the future videos.
Yeah, and I also did a bit of a funny earlier in the week. I did a bit of a funnier one. I was just commenting on the weather, and all I said was like, "Looks like the rain's finally clearing up because it's been raining forever." And then I did a video of me like pointing, that Scott Morrison meme where he's like, "Stop it, stop it."
Yeah.
I did that, but like at the clouds, and I was like, "That's mildly." So.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that sounds good. It sort of reminds me of I think Tommy put out one this morning, and it was just like name what's this sound out of this movie, and you're basically just screaming. I was like that's gold.
No, that was actually for work.
Was it? I thought it was funny.
It's straight, like I said in the video, it's straight up out of a movie. I haven't actually seen the movie, but I was meant to be doing a little covery kind of rip off of it. Not a full blown rip off, but yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose
no $10 for you.
No $10 for me, because I didn't guess it. Was it this fire thing you were talking about?
No, it's not. It's not. Can I even name the name on here?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's over now anyway. Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
It's not out of that.
No.
The sounds out of that are basically like just fire truck sounds.
So I guess then, Tommy, you chucked out a few videos, and you were also same sort of thing as I want, just getting over the fear of showing yourself. How'd you go?
Oh, dude, it was strangely liberating. Because like you were saying on how you had a few takes, but you found like the first one was the best. I just kind of said what I was doing, what I'd finished doing, and like I had heaps of pauses in mine. Like it went over, you know how it splits itself up.
Yeah.
The longer the video goes. Yeah, mine was a fair few seconds, but yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, sick.
As in, like, it's really easy.
Yeah, so you're getting more confident and comfortable just doing it.
For sure.
Yeah. So did you find that you had any level of more engagement or anything like into your analytics side of it?
Yeah, like looking at the actual numbers, I haven't done that.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is. really. In the
You
app.
just gotta like swipe up from your story. Click on your story and swipe.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and then there's
that
like
sounds easy.
like it tells you how many people like watched it, the full thing, how many people skipped it, and stuff like
All
that.
right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
cool. Yeah. No idea.
yeah, so you're gonna do like a couple each week or one each week.
Yeah. Look, and going back to what we were talking about before, how we were saying you can schedule the posts and everything like that. Yeah, I don't know. I know you should find the time, but that just detracts so much from what I should be doing. And actually, like, I know this is what we should be doing, building a brand, but it's like nothing would get done if I was doing that.
How so?
I feel. But I also feel that I'm still putting out more posts than I've ever have, and I just do it when I have something that I feel like I can post.
Yeah,
Or I'm just recording when I'm doing stuff and then just be like, yeah, cool, whatever. That's on there. Done.
it's just similar with me because a lot of the stuff I'm posting is sort of seasonal, but like what's happening in the vineyard as well. So it's kind of I can't schedule like a 2 weeks worth of stuff because I haven't taken the photos of videos the next 2 weeks, kind of thing.
Well, exactly. I suppose that's what they do. Like the pros on YouTube, they shoot for a couple of days and whatever, and then they have a team of people that put it together, edit it, and put all the pictures and the stock photos and footage and stuff to it. But I suppose like a couple of posts here and there, you could do it, but you still have to have that idea of what. So like I'm in here, and most of my photos and stuff are of me, playing guitar and doing things like that. I mean, I'd have to think ahead and be like, instead of just doing it in the moment, which is better because I find
You feel more
it
creative, I
seems
guess.
it's more natural.
Yeah.
It just feels natural. It's not as put on, because then you set up the camera. Like I know that you can just do it on your phone.
Yeah.
Which I have been, but yeah, you have to kind of, instead of just being in the moment and doing what you're going to do and still, ticking off stuff on your to-do list, you have to,
Yeah, I suppose it's like progression. Like most people at the beginning of they just obviously do the creative side where it's just like, yeah, look, I'm just going to get it when I get it. And it's just putting it out when I'm feeling the mood. But the more I've seen of like productivity, sort of like people on YouTube and just video creators and all that kind of stuff, they sort of plan. They might break their week up because it's like their full-time job. So they go, okay, this day we're planning this week's worth of content, then we're going to go film it. But they're more informational kind of videos. They're more like rather than a full-on just entertainment quick snapshot. They're like productions, not just a reel or whatever.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
I'll send you through. So there was 6 weeks to that structure thing. I sent you the first week, and the second week is kind of looking at your content and your content pillars. So that sort of like helps you structure, because like the way that I've worked that out, there's a lot of stuff that I don't need. You have a reason for posting it, so you don't really need to go searching for the material like creatively when you've already got the reason why, I guess. That makes sense.
Yeah, you're not having to come up with ideas like pre-planned because you already know, oh, well, I'm going to put this out because it's relating to why I'm doing it.
Yeah, but there's one post, and then you've
got so many different
load on that specific post, because you know what your why is, and it's just one thing.
No, but you got so many different pillars in there that it like they're all kind of.
What do you mean by pillars?
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain it.
Dude, I need to pull up the bloody spreadsheet.
Because like I looked at it. Thanks for sending that through too, by the way. But I started looking through it and filling out some of the sections. But you really have to sit there and think a lot about it. Like take a lot of time to fill in a lot of it, which is
Yeah.
what it's all about. But I have, just
Yeah, I suppose it's like
I have it.
prioritizing. Like, I just put it back into my context. Like, in just leading teams, leading whatever I'm doing. The way I can do it effectively is through strategic planning, but that takes a hell of a lot of time to begin with. Like, it might take a whole solid week of writing this plan, but that plan would then go into the future year or future term or future whatever it is, and then I leverage it or I use it constantly and refer back to it the entire time, so it's a clear direction. So then I can get my team on board and go, this is what we've planned, this is where we're going, this is our milestones we're going to hit. And I suppose it's the same kind of context with what you're currently doing. You're trying to figure out your why, your plan. Takes a long time, and then the rest comes. But you can always feel like, oh, this is just too much effort, this is too much time, I'm better off using my time doing these tasks that are like
Have you
instant.
heard of the 7 Ps? And I heard this is a guy from where I think it's actually a British Army adage, and I will tell it for you now. So this is the rule of the 7 Ps. Proper planning and preparation prevents piss poor performance.
Yeah, heard that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the sort of way I think of it.
Yeah. I think I sort of reflect back on like the 7 habits of highly effective people and the way that they plan, or Stephen Covey plans your time allotment, and he tries to get you into a certain quadrant, which is focusing on longer term goals, which are either planning, collaboration, or network building, rather than just the tasks that are going to get you there. Because the planning that does make a crucial or a massive impact on whatever you're trying to aim for.
So break that down a little bit more, Vaughan, because I don't know if I get it or if I don't get it, because I'm ticking off a lot of steps towards the goals that I've written down, and it's going awesome, right?
Yep.
So, and like I don't waste a lot of time at all. Like I like to think that I'm pretty organized. So that's where I think I'm struggling when I look at that business plan, because I'm like, well, I already know my why and I've got my goals. The only things that really need nutting out and that just kind of crop up when they need to get done is the steps involved.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I think I get it in a sense of you feel like your strategy at the moment's working. Why do I need to change by writing all this stuff down that I feel like I've already got written in form of a different way? So it's like you've got your goals written, or you're taking action to complete your vision. Why do I need to go and write all these stuff again, like double handle? I suppose the thing.
You also got to, like, before you like move on thinking, I've completed all this stuff, but there's still more to do. You got to like reward yourself for actually smashing all those goals that you've been writing. Like, if you want
to, yeah, that's it.
One of those.
That's just wasted time.
I'm not efficient enough.
Finishing your goals, getting the end, but it never ends. So I suppose you're right. There's always another thing.
I'm gonna just give you an idea of what content pillars might be like for you and for me. So, if you're thinking like of your ideal customer, so I don't know about music, but maybe for wine, think about like maybe I want someone who's sort of 25 to 35, and then what sort of things, like my pillars would be like, how am I going to market myself to them? Like, what am I going to do to like get them into my brand? So I'm going to provide education about wine. That's one pillar. Education about viticulture. That's 2 pillars. And I can't think of any more, but like you'd have, so maybe you choose 3 or 4 pillars. Like yours could be like, I don't know, educational music. I don't know. Yeah, and then so you choose you you don't want to go more than 5 apparently, because then you just make it hard for yourself. And then you take your pillars and you choose within each pillar what what are you providing to them. So if it's wine education, I've got to do posts that provide value. I've got to do posts that provide connection. I've got to do posts that have credibility. I've got to do posts if I'm selling something specifically, like if it's my business, I've got to do promotional posts. So how am I going to relate wine education to all of those kind of value, connection, credibility, and professional? So then and then if you've got your 3 content pillars and you're doing all those topics, you've kind of got a good list of stuff that you can be chatting about consistently, instead of thinking, which I find difficult because I'm I plan to post 3 times this week. I only did once because things got in the way. I didn't find anything interesting that was interesting enough to post at work. But yeah, so where if you've got this kind of structure about these are the key things that would help people and get them interested in the topic that I want them to be interested in. Yeah. So right. The structure that on the week 1, what I sent you, is I think it's important, but I was the same. I was kind of going through it pretty I get it. I know kind of what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important, but I think the next one, at least for social media, because that's more just general business. This next week I'll send you through, and it helps a lot with having some sort of strategy for Instagram, instead of just and they say you're not just using Instagram, you're it's a tool for you. It's not just a random thing that you use when you're a member, kind of thing. Yeah. So
yeah, cool. All right, I think that kind of sheds a little bit of light on that.
Yeah, but that's the same for me, because you set big goals, I'm going to post 4 days a week, and then you do once, and then you're oh shit, and then you forget what you wanted to post about anyway, and then the day gets ahead of you. So to have the structure and to have an idea of what you need to be educating people about online, is it value, is it connection, credibility? Yeah. So
But then it's just, I suppose, just executing through the week that you're actually hitting those goals. And I think it comes back to what we were talking about before, about pre-planning, spending the time to think about what you're going to do, rather than just hoping inspiration hits you, because you'll get caught up with whatever.
Yeah, and I think something I've seen in a couple of people when they kind of teach it is that they will do, just say you're planning a full month, let's say a week or 10 days. They'll do different posts will hit different categories. So you're not just providing all value in one education. You're doing a good, every second post is this, and then on every 5th post is a picture of your face. So there's just that structure. So as you go through it, you're giving variety to people, but you're still building their trust, because without the sort of trust, they're not going to purchase from you.
I see.
Yeah. So it's actually probably the best course out of the lot that I've read through the thing, and I haven't even done it properly. I just half-assed it last week as well. So
yeah, but it still sounds like you've got
I got an idea now. Yeah, I've got a good idea. So but that's it, isn't it? It's you can know as much as you want, but it's whether you put that into the action.
Yeah, that's it. It's just about you can get absorbed with improving or learning, but unless you actually put it into an effort to actually do something with it, doesn't really count.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
it's easy to make content.
Yeah, well,
it's easy, but I suppose that's where having that plan of what you're actually trying to make content about.
Yeah.
Rather than, because I've just been thinking of making content about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because
That's the same.
your intention, I suppose, come back to that of like, why were you trying to do that? You're trying to get people to connect with you and sort of have an insight into you and your personality through what you do. So sharing interests. So at this stage, you're hitting one of your pillars in a sense, like by just doing that. I suppose what Owen's sort of talking about is more structure to identify the other areas to eventually branch into or to target once you're sort of gone, oh, okay, I've sort of exhausted this avenue, or I feel like I need to change it up or want to target a different area. I think that's,
yeah, cool. I
Mhm.
think that kind of sheds a bit more light on that for sure.
sort of
Yep.
like brings me to like a thing sort of I was thinking about like this week. It sounds like you, Owen, have sort of obviously get caught up with work, so therefore your goals you didn't manage to hit it exactly. So it was very similar to me. Like this week started back at work, and then had the every intention to chip away at this uni assignment and finish the last week of this uni assignment like I usually do, and just do a bit each night. Work got the sort of the best of me in a sense. Just so many changes, so many just hit constant reactive mode rather than being proactive. Like I was constantly reactive, and and what eventually happened was I got to yesterday, and I was like, I've got this massive essay due. I haven't done the week's worth of content. I was feeling stressed. I was feeling overwhelmed. Completely just going, oh my gosh. I was even considering getting an extension now. I'm already halfway through my master's, haven't got a single extension and been smashing it. So I'm like, I don't want to get an extension. So like you're talking about, you can learn heaps, but unless you put it into action. So one of the things that I learned was based on a book sort of Tommy, I think, recommended was The Obstacle is the Way, about seeing the challenge as the way forward. So I went, okay, basically went for a walk, got clarity, knew what I wanted to do, knew how I'm going to do it, saw that I can do it because I've done it previously. Came back and yesterday just smashed out 3/4 of this essay. And then today, I'm just cleaning it up, finishing it off, cleaning it up. And it just puts into perspective, like you can know everything, but unless you actually put it into action and be proactive, you go, okay, now look, I'm going to focus, I'm going to get this done. The goals, what you want to achieve, just won't be realized.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was really, really cool just to sort of put everything into practice again.
Yeah, exactly it. Is your mic on, Tommy? Can't hear you. Saw your mouth moving earlier, and I was like, everyone's just a solo and
Yeah.
this one.
Oh man, 5,000.
Yeah,
There we go.
You're back.
Oh, I don't know why that went off.
Still it's a lot quieter than Vaughn's. You can snip this one, Vaughan.
I don't want to edit on. This is raw, unadulterated. Just there it is.
Yeah, right. No, lost you again.
No, you're completely disconnecting.
Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, so that's what it is, and it's being, what would you say, proactive, not reactive?
Yeah, that's it.
And that's the whole point of this planning with the content pillars, so that you can do a week, and like H has done, she's got 2 weeks already scheduled of content.
Nice.
So she's dreaming.
Yeah.
She's laughing all the way to the bank. But yeah, so she still makes content like every other day to just keep adding to it. But she's got so much now that it's piece cake.
Yeah,
obviously,
that's
like
excellent.
it might be a bit different, definitely for me, because a lot of the content I want to post is
Obviously seasonal.
and for what I'm doing. But there's definitely other stuff in there that I can pre-plan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yo, is this working?
Yep.
We can hear you now.
Very quiet though.
Very quiet.
I
No,
don't
I
know
lost
why.
you. There you
I
go.
wasn't speaking. What about that?
Yeah, that's way
Yeah.
better.
There
Excellent.
you go.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, I didn't really add much to anything that you were saying anyway, Vaughan, but apart from like it's a good philosophy you have, the old Marcus Aurelius quote, the impediment to action advances action, what stands in the way becomes the way, which is I think what the obstacle is the way is based off because he loves that guy.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, it's I think another I don't know if it was I don't really know the quote by Marcus Aurelius, but it was basically like if you've ever got something huge that you've got to overcome or something that you really don't want to do half of it and then do half of it again and then you're finished. It was something like that. And it's just like, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the fallacy? I always forget it. It's like the one where if you're like, oh, I've been waiting in the line an hour, I might as well wait
Another hour. Yeah.
5 more hours because I've already wasted an hour.
Yeah.
What's that fallacy?
I don't know, but it's like I've already committed. Basically, I've already committed this amount of time. I don't want to waste that time by bailing now.
That can be positive and negative because sometimes it's like you need a bail.
You can really. It's really like sort of come back to what we were just talking about before in regards to, I suppose, in nearly like in your trying to understand, Tommy, what you're like trying to get a grasp on this planning thing of like how much does it relate to you right now and how much impact is it going to make, because what you believe right now, what you're doing is working. So it's like, well, do I need to change it? No, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, rather than like what Owen's talking about like getting a full, bigger picture of everything why based.
Doing but haven't, considering but haven't processed, and doing it. Haven't done it yet. Getting there.
No, it makes perfect sense. I think because I've already, like I don't know what I was going to say there, but I think planning it out, like I've done that heaps to some extent. And now that I've got all these other little tendrils that I'm kind of, ticking off on the way to that, it's kind of like planning's not in my mind at the moment. Like I'm doing all this other stuff because their deadlines or like they're going to come quicker.
Yeah.
Whereas when I've got a bit of space and that they're out there doing their thing, all those seeds are planted and whatever, then I can focus on building the plan after all that stuff. So I think that's where my head's at the moment. Because obviously when you first have an idea to do something, you're going to be like, okay, how do I do that? Then you plan, and then you've got a few steps. So then you execute those steps, and then you get to another. I don't know, because I understand the planning stuff. Like it's pretty.
You're just at a different stage. Like Owen's at a straight up beginning. You've already planned, and now you're in execution mode. You're like, these are my goals. This is what I'm going to do. This is why I'm doing it. And now I'm just got to do it. Like you've got, you're working for clients. You're setting up goals and smashing them off.
Yeah, but in saying that, like what you were saying, Owen, still really helps because there's those parts. Like just because I'm putting out content doesn't mean that I understand what I'm doing in that area. Right?
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm just like, cool, there's something else to go up on the socials and stuff like that. I'm doing things.
more directed and less
Yeah.
scattergun.
And that's it. More targeted. And I suppose it's interesting you say, I'm doing things, not to see being busy as being efficient and effective.
Yeah, that's good.
Because you like, it was interesting. There's this theory, I think it's called the blue dot theory, or something along those lines. And basically it's you'll constantly try to fill the time with whatever task it is, to fill the time. So it's like, if you give yourself 2 weeks, well, you'll take 2 weeks. If you give yourself a crazy deadline, like an hour to get this done, you'll get it done in an hour. You'll find a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, because in definitely in the social space, I'm still on that level of, like I was saying before, is just content, right? Whereas you have more of a planned, like specifically what's this specific content's job is, like what it's being, put out there for, what is it to do? So
But I've only hit that point in the last few weeks when I was reading through this course thing. Before that, it was fully scattergun. Like, it was just post whatever because it was like, because I can talk about it.
Yeah, dude. No, well, it's good. You got it down. Just gotta get to that level, and then we'll be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's another level. Sure, there's something above that.
Yeah, there's always a ceiling, and you can always touch it. But and it can continually rise. It just like, I'm just thinking about this, the American debt ceiling that they're putting in at the moment, or they're trying to get raised from this level to this level, just so everything doesn't go nuts.
That's what they've been doing for centuries.
Yeah, that's it. It's just like, oh yeah, more debt, no problem.
That's all right. Yeah, we'll borrow more. We'll just print more.
Yeah. So, is there anything else? How was your week, Tommy? What'd you get up to?
My week, comprised of the day job and music.
Yeah, sick.
The usual, but yeah, no, it's going great. There's not much really to report there. Well, last weekend after our last Invoking the Muse podcast, our very first one, I kind of resurrected my blog. I had a blog ages ago that I did one post on, and kind of just like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing it. But obviously doing this, and it helps writing. And doing things. So it's easier to do now because obviously we're doing this and I'm doing other stuff along those lines. And it seems really easy. So Sunday I'll put up another one just before, which is what I was posting before we started this. But so I've resurrected that.
Yeah, nice.
So
that's awesome.
So what are you sort of blogging about? Are you just your music? Or
so they're kind of backdated blogs. I have. It's it's basically since the first one was called My First Instrument, and guess what this one was called?
My Second Instrument.
Yeah. But it's not just going to keep going through all the instruments that I've got in chronological order. No. So it's just starting with that, and obviously the origin story. If basically doing that.
Yeah,
so,
sick.
which is good because it kind of joins together, and you kind of think of things when you're writing them down. And obviously, it's nice to reminisce because you walk down memory lane, and you're like, wow, if that didn't happen, that wouldn't have happened, and they just all link up, and then here you are now.
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah,
It's good to kind of look back and see where you've come from.
100%, man. Like, I think that's great. I think just to sort of recall, because otherwise it'll just be lost. You'll just go, oh, can't remember. What did I do with my first guitar? When was my first gig? Oh, yeah. They're things that you probably wouldn't forget, but the things that come after that, you might be go, oh, this is just the norm. Then it becomes a easier thing to forget. So writing it down,
Yeah.
I think it sounds great.
It's a good exercise. I mean, it's kind of like on the same level as journaling, you know, because you kind
Yeah.
of write down your thoughts. Well, I suppose with journaling, you do it for that day usually, but this one's obviously from way back when. But you kind of, I think it's healthy because it's you learn a lot of, you know, about appreciation. I think that comes across, and you kind of feel real grateful
Yeah.
for a lot of things that you kind of remember.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, hey, gratitude is probably, you know, one of the most powerful emotions
Yeah.
that's out there.
100%.
And you know, in one of the instances, one of the second instrument, the guitar that I got after my first guitar, was put away in the closet for years. Like after I got my third guitar and did all that stuff, but I got it back out a couple of years ago when I joined another band, Hostel, and which subsequently we went on tour with, and that's the guitar that came with me, and it was awesome. And like it's just kind of funny that you don't know what objects, I think I wrote this in there, you don't know what objects, experiences or life lessons or whatever you're gonna need to call upon in the future, even if they've like put away in the closet for ages, and you only bring them out in certain events or when you need them, you know,
Yeah, that's it.
subconsciously or consciously. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it's this weird kind of
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
philosophical way of looking at a guitar, but yeah.
No, I agree. I think it's we use the term in education in your toolbox, your toolbox of tricks or whatever it is in regards to, like, it could be behavior management, it could be engagement, it could be whatever it is. But the more experiences you have, the more full your toolbox or whatever gets filled. So you take them out, like take the tools out when you need them, and it might not be for years, like sort of what you're saying. So
It
yeah,
seems really simple, like when you kind of nut it out like that, but it's easy to forget,
yeah, that's
you
it.
know, when you're going through different things, and yeah, it's just good exercise.
Yeah, fantastic. So when are you gonna start a blog eventually?
I've actually already started blogging.
Yeah, cool, nice.
Check me out on the wide web if you want. But no, I just did it for work, so it's on my work's website.
Yep.
So I've done 2 posts. Yeah, I liked it actually. I thought it was going to be kind of inspired originally, and to do it for myself, and then they were like, "Oh, we should start this." So I did two on there, and they were just really like kind of what I'm doing anyway. They're just sort of educational, like, why do we do this in the vineyard? Like, what's the purpose of things? It was good. It's good kind of actually thinking about it, and I did a little bit of research as well into the topic, so it kind of like sort of stimulates your own interest more. So otherwise things can be a bit mundane if you're talking about grass and how it grows. Like,
Yeah.
So, yeah, and like literally, I'm talking about how plants grow. So,
Who cares?
yeah.
Good.
So no, I actually liked it, but
Musings.
yeah. Well, the last one I did, I put it off for about 2 months, and because I was like, oh, I just don't know where to start. And then we had like 2 meetings at work, and they're like, oh, and how's that blog post going on? I'm like, and then I was like, all right, I'll just do it. And it probably took me, with like a few dot points, so like this one I'm going to talk about, probably took me 45 minutes actually. Like it's probably even longer than less than time than that. But I just got it out and I was like, oh yeah, it sounds pretty good. So
That's awesome. It sounds like yours is a lot more word heavy, which is
yeah.
what I will eventually get into. But
Well, they're still very short. Like I'm not going too into detail, but I just quite a like. Yeah, I mean, it took me 45 minutes to think of the ideas to write down, even though I didn't go like expand into them as much. But yeah,
that's awesome. It sounds like you're really hitting that educational aspect of it. Because mine's a lot of pictures that are going with mine from way back when of the guitar. So
yeah,
just kind of filling in that in a bit more visually, really.
yeah, and that's good. That's a good thing about blogs.
Yeah, well, they're very similar to sort of what the concept behind like writing an essay is. Like I just think about like you're trying to reflect on what you've learned or reflect on an experience that you've had, and then put it in context of how you want to structure it or whatever. But there's massive value. Like when I originally finished uni like years ago, I was like, nah, never writing an essay again. It's like, but now it's like what you sort of said. It's great because you put it into context of what your experiences have been. You remember things that have happened in the past, or you reflect on the knowledge that you've just learned or you've learned previously. So it's very similar. It's obviously just not going to a public audience. So it's
yeah.
So I suppose the next thing is then website. Chuck it on your own, and not on your works one.
Well, yeah, eventually we'll get there. I mean, there's so many steps to get to. I haven't even thought of a name, Paul. So
true.
Hold on, let's get that one.
That's a shout out to any listeners. Give us some names.
For a wine brand, obviously.
Yeah.
Just generic names.
Yeah. It's like Henry. What?
Yeah, no, I'll definitely do that.
It's something exciting to look forward to once you're obviously everything else is established.
Yeah, exactly. So, keen to hear any other names that you guys can think of throughout the week, next week maybe. But I'm gonna have to Google it. Like, I was thinking like a name generator, see what they punch out.
Nah,
No,
they're terrible.
Yeah, unadvisable. It's kind of, I don't know. You'd want it something a bit more
meaningful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Means whatever it means to you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I really don't know yet, but I think it's got to encapsulate like what I want the lines to do.
It's like what you sent us the other day. You sent a song. It was like, this is what I want my wine to taste like, and it was a song.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sick. and it matched perfectly the vision I had in my head of like the business idea that I thought you had. I was like, all right, he's got his groove.
I played that for someone else, and the comment on that was, "You're well off touch. Like no one's gonna like this." So I
was like, "What, babe?" And it does not taste good.
Yeah, it's like Anyway, it was good. It's a good song. I love that.
Yeah.
Well up the alley. I was picturing my wines with theme.
Well, I think that's it. It's like get a bit of inspiration, and then
for sure, anything that helps. It's a good way of describing stuff. It's good. I like that way of that you've done that to try and describe a taste too.
Yeah, it's a feeling that it like emotes as well. Like what that feeling the song gives you. It's the same feeling I want the wine to give you.
That's it.
It's
because, like for example, wines are such an emotional kind of thing. Like you put it in context. Okay, it could be like sunny afternoon and a summer's day, 4:00. What kind of wine are you going to have? Or it could be 8:00 at a nice steak restaurant, or like you've got different vibes. So having a song associated with the feeling then helps you understand the vibe that you want your wine to give you. Like,
Sure.
because obviously, like most people wouldn't have a really deep, dark, like deep, heavy Shiraz at 4 o'clock in an afternoon, unless
Yeah.
you're like obviously Tommy.
Fuck
Like, but
Midday Shiraz. Nothing.
God, it's like early.
Midday Christmas Shiraz playing cricket.
Oh yeah, I get around.
What
that.
song would you play for that taste?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I have no idea. Like Jingle Bells Rock.
Jingle Bells Rock.
maybe if you
Maybe
turn it
this-
into a sangria, but
Yeah, there we go. I find a song for singing.
Yeah.
But I think that's the sort of like when I think about the wines that I want to make, at least for the first year, I think there's definitely a change year to year, but I don't want them to be too serious. And I think like I want them to be like smashable, but good quality, but smashable.
yeah,
And like something you're just gonna want to love to drink, and you're not gonna have to think about it too much. Like if you sit down with winos, sometimes I just feel like you're getting caught up in like, oh, does it, does this taste like that, or is it this? And sometimes you just want a good glass that's smashable. You can listen to some good beats in the
Yep.
sun,
yep,
your friends, and not think about that we've been in lockdown for 2 years.
that's exactly it.
So I don't really want to.
Yeah,
I don't really want to
you'll
make
have a
anything
range.
too complicated for the first go.
Yeah,
But yeah, I 100% have a range, and that's the idea. Because at some point in your winemaking career, you want to actually make something that's
That's
interesting.
decent. That's
can think about.
unsmashable.
Yeah, but at least one of them. If I make 2 or 3 this year, one of them will be that, and that's what that song is.
yeah, nice. I think
Good
I
stuff.
think it's the way to go. It's definitely hitting the market, especially after coming out of the lockdowns. Everyone's like, yeah, let's let's get some good wines.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The smashable wines will be flying off the shelves.
I wouldn't be surprised if every other wine producer has had the same thought.
yeah, that's it.
I know
But
at least for my boss, he's got a few really good smashable ones, so I reckon they're all going to like hotcakes.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we'll see.
yeah, well,
I'll keep thinking about the Shiraz song though. I'll come up with one.
yeah, sounds.
No, I don't want to know about it. I've got a better soundtrack in my head than anything you can come up with. Good stuff, boys.
Yeah, sick.
Come on.
Well, I think we've just come to a bit of a natural end there,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. It's always good to end on a high, especially a smashable wine. Maybe it's a cheeky Sunday afternoon. Just want to thank everyone for listening today, for joining us at Invoking the Muse podcast. If you enjoyed it, reach out, like, comment, subscribe, whatever platform you're on, and we'll hopefully see you in the next one. Just remember, anything that we sort of discussed here is not any particular advice. It's only for education or entertainment purposes only. So thanks for joining. Thanks for coming, boys, and chat to you again soon, hey?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, and
Thank you. See you later.